Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome back to the painting channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a lovely little oil study for you. It's going to be this beautiful little kingfisher on a branch, but I'm not using my normal oils. Instead I am using these. Now Rubens sent me this set for free recently to see if I would have a go with them, see what I thought about them, and whether or not I would recommend them to other people, and should you own a set. So yeah, I felt that the Kingfisher was a great way to go forward with that. So we're going to do the Kingfisher, we're going to use these oils, and I'll let you know at the end if it's worth you getting a set of these. So let's get on and let's see how it all turns out. For me, there are far more colours here than I would normally and ordinarily want to put on my palette. I normally restrict it to a warm and a cool yellow, blue and a red, and maybe an earth tone, and maybe a couple of the other earth tones such as siennas and ochres. However, we are blessed with so many, and in fairness to the company, I will be putting them all out. I'm going to dive into one or two or even three or four of them and see what fun and what mischief I can get up to. Right, so I'm going to start here with the black one, and it is called Coal Black. Yeah, that's got a little bit of separation as well, maybe not too bad. So the Kingfisher in question is going to be this one. Alright, let's get underway. I'm going to start off with a bit of the background, and I don't know how thick or thin these paints are, how well pigmented they are, but hopefully I'll let you know towards the end of this session, because there's a lot of pale colours in this background, and yeah, I just don't know how I want to develop that against the bird. To me, the study is the bird, and that's really where all of my information is going down on. I'm going to put a little bit of pure, well, I'm going to call it Naples yellow. They call it a flesh skin tone, but I call it. Alright, I think from the point of view of an initial part of the background, I'm going to leave that alone, and I want to come in here with my darkest blue colours. Now, there is quite a beautiful turquoise colour to it, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to add to that just a little touch, should I say, we'll do that again, a little touch of yellow. That makes it a little more greenish looking, but I want to darken that down, so I'm going to actually use some of the black. Now I don't normally would suggest black. I'm going to put some brown to that. I'm going to tease that in and let that blend out to the blue a bit more. So we've got black and brown in there, so it's not a pure black. Quite like what that's doing. I'm going to come here, I'm going to bring a bit more in. This is where lots of mixing really does help you. So what I'm doing now is looking at the blue values of the bird, and that lovely turquoise is really working well for me. However, it's made possible because I've actually warmed up some of the blue with the brown and the black to give me the darker accents that are needed throughout this part of the painting. Yeah. Take that down. It's getting very cool, this colour. It needs to warm up. So with that said, it might be better to white back. Now it's coming off quite easily because of that. I may have to repair the bird as well. It's very, very oily. It's not a mistake. I don't think that I've messed up this painting because of this. I'm simply well, I have now. There we go. Alright, the pencil is still on there, and I will just start this part again, the whole thing pretty much, but I'm not going to cut this out. You'll get to see this in the video. It is just me. There was nothing wrong with what I did. I just chose the wrong background colors to start with. I still have, luckily, all the colors that I've been using ready to go, so I'm going to go back in and re-establish mainly the bird.
I decided to do the bird first this time. I'm using the same blue and brown mixes so I get that lovely sense of the turquoise, but I felt that it would be easier to build the bird and then come in with the background at a later point during the course of this painting.
What I'm going to do now is work with some yellow ochre and a little bit of sienna. Would it be nice to have had maybe a raw sienna in here as well? It's not, I'm only griping a little bit, but I quite like raw sienna as opposed to the burnt sometimes. It gives a dirtier, earthier yellow colour.
I didn't go for the pure oranges made from yellows and reds. I chose the earth tones of the sienna and the yellow ochre to create my lovely warm colours on the chest of the bird. I just felt that they actually worked better.
Now, have I missed a trick here? I think I have. I've come in here with that. I've got to come under there. I've forgotten about that. So I'm going to put that in quickly. And I'm going to come in with a finer brush with some dark. I'm going to use a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. I would normally use a blue. I could come in with ultramarine blue and my umber. Same idea. If you don't like using black, and that's fine. I'm not a keen lover. I put the eye in. And leave that alone for the moment. So I've got a bit of work to work on that and get that where I need it to be. I come in with pretty much a dark area under here. This is the little stumpy tail that the bird's got.
Now don't forget, the full version of this can be found over on my Patreon channel. All the details for that and the links that you need to go to it are in the Show More tab or description underneath this and many other videos. Love to see you there.
So I want to tap in a little bit more information so that it does look like that lovely turquoise head. And this is quite a grizzled look on these birds' heads. You've got this marvellous array of pale electric light blue colours all over the top of the head in a grizzle pattern when you see it in different lights. Okay, now this might allow me to draw a little more clearly. Yes, it is. Just got a little finer edge to it, and a good sharp edge on a newer brush will allow you to draw it down like a very sharp chisel to create and go back, draw back into or scribe back into your paint layer, which is quite useful, and that's what I've been doing so far. And I don't want to make this so hugely detailed, but the ability to go back into this the way I am, it's really quite exciting. So I'm actually going to do that.
I think the ability to scribe back into the thin layers of paint with that background is working quite nicely. Now, it's not something I ordinarily do, and it's not just significant with this particular paint manufacturer. It just happens that the surface of the board is quite smooth, and it's allowing me to do that. And it's also allowing me to make a lot more detailed marks with the smaller brush than maybe I would ordinarily do. That said, I am having an awful lot of fun playing around with this idea, so let's see where it goes.
Okay, so I'm going to come in with less white into this, a little bit more pure colour into this, see where that takes us. But I don't, you see, the trouble is it's now fighting with the bird colour, and I've got to try and resist that a bit. So I'm going to come in here now very carefully and come right up the side of the back of the head here and around the top. Try not to leave a little bit of a margin line that suggests you've gone around it. If you're going to do this, then be careful and make sure that your colour goes right up to the bird. You can always repair the other way, as I got to there. I lost a little bit, but it's better to make sure that you don't leave an edge around, like go and paint around there and paint up there. You leave an edge and it looks awful. Pale cheek there needs to be a white. I'm going to come in with the rigger, and I am going to use almost pure white. The reason I'm going to use pure white is because there is a lovely suffusion of blue and that from the previous bit of painting that I did. So that's going to pick up that red and that blue in there, and it's going to mix with that white. That's good. I'm going to come in here, and the dark is going to mix with that white, but just tread carefully. If you go too mad, you pick it up and put it everywhere. You don't want that. You just simply want to suggest that little bit of light coming into the bill there.
I think with the addition of that almost pure white, it really makes the bird come to life. It electrifies it. It sets up that huge contrast between the blues, the oranges, and the white cheeks. So I'm really pleased that that's how it works. And it also shows off the wonderful blue-white spots that adorn the bird.
Right, now I'm going to go back in with some of these lovely little taps of blues, these little jewels of light on our bird's head.
As I said just now, the darker contrast of the original blue layers and the buff colours allow me to put on these beautiful little jeweled marks all over the head, the crown of the bird, which we all look to see and enjoy when we look at a kingfisher. And I'm coming in now with much finer details, the little catchlight in the eye, the cheek marks, and just refining exactly what I see overall to get this over the finish line as a painting.
All right, I think we're about there in that regard. A bit of orange into the beak there. So let's just look at our beak. Now it is sort of a subtle colours of darks, but violety darks. They're sort of somewhere in this area here, maybe with a little bit of that red in there, just to take it to a purple colour. Let's just see how we can break up the look of this beak in terms of light and dark to get the suggestion of light on the top. It's not black. Of course, we started off with black, but we're not going to leave it at black.
Now I did this just now. I turned the canvas around to make it slightly easier to draw with the brush. It's the natural angle of your hand, your wrist, and it will work whichever hand you left or right, doesn't matter. But you just move the panel to a position that makes it easier and not hard for you to draw the lines that you need to. And I just had to say I love this red lower mandible. It's a female kingfisher that denotes or carries that red mark, but it's beautiful, and I think it just adds an extra dimension to the beak overall.
All right, for the feet, I'm not going to go too mad. I'm just going to basically put in a bit of a shape really to suggest the feet. Don't need to go too berserk with that. We know they've got lovely little red feet. You do not need to overemphasize the detail. I bet you before I finish I do though. I'm going to come in with that one. I mean, I'm trying to resist it, honestly, I really am. But I am going to do, in fairness, I'm not going to just leave it like that. So I kind of put a little highlight in there and there. Doesn't need to be much more than that. A little bit of, there's 3 toes shown there. One, I'm going to put another one in there, a little bit at the back. So that's enough to do with the feet. All we need to put in there. All right, so I better address the branches, hadn't I? Now they've got a lovely coolish colour, a sort of a dirtier, violety colour with a bit of light. So I'm going to come in here. And take the shape right up against the edges of this little twig, and I'm going to play around with some of the colours within it. Oh, that's a little too strong. Take that away a little bit. A bit of red in there would help it, maybe a little bit of the sienna. just to warm it up a little bit. You can see the evidence of that in the photo, a little bit here and there.
So what I'm doing is refining the branch. I'm not putting a lot of detail in, I'm just really putting in some highlights to suggest that they are rounded items, and I'm taking the detail away as I go off or towards the edge of the canvases. I'm also refining the shapes around the bird, the background, just making sure that it is where I want it to be before I conclude the painting.
Just that little bit of cooling violet colour. So light is a highlight. I hit a bit of the background and I didn't mean to do that. I can come in and repair that in a moment. Just want to get enough of this sort of violet colour coming in here. You can look at it all day long, can't you? And often what I do with the painting is, once I think I've done it, I will take it into my office in the house and I will happily sit for a day or two while it's drying off and check it out. See, do I still like everything on it, or does something need changing? And I'm going to let it dry off over the next few days. But whilst I'm doing that, every time I'm sitting in on the computer doing a bit of editing or a bit of something else on the website, or indeed just watching some telly, I will keep glancing up at the painting and looking at it and see, do I still feel the same way about it now as I did when I finished it the other day? So I think that's always a great call for anybody. So now let's just round up this painting. Certainly I've enjoyed this bird. I've enjoyed painting this kingfisher. It's been a lot of fun, and it has shown me a few things that I had forgotten. In all honesty, I had forgotten different things about the surface that I'm painting on. I wasn't sure for a little wee bit. I really wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. But the more I got into it, the more I actually liked what was happening. And it's opened me up once more to maybe thinking, you know, I'm going to do a few more like this and just see how it develops. And I like that idea. That really is exciting. And I think that's where you should go with it. About the paints, well, I will say I enjoyed using them. I think that some of them are very, very thin. The burnt sienna and the yellow ochre in particular, to me, are quite thin. At the end of the day, I think I've had a lot of fun with this. I do enjoy the kingfisher as a painting. I've enjoyed painting this one for you. So if you have enjoyed this one, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and give me some feedback, give me some comments. That would be great. I always answer them. I enjoy reading them. And share it with your friends. If you've got a friend who likes oil painting and loves birds, then, you know, why not share it with them and let them enjoy it too. So with that all said and done, I'm going to leave you be. I'm going to hope that you have a lot of painting fun. Enjoy your work. Happy painting. I'll see you all in the next video very, very soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.